And there was nothing they could do about it.
You mean back to back?
Back to back.
Oh,
yeah. Greg Fishel's online. Greg, are you there, sir?
I am. I have that same arrangement.
Do you?
Nice.
Yes.
Isn't that a neat thing?
It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm bringing Vic up, who obviously is not knowledgeable about these type things.
No.
You don't know about this? Well, I have mines with 5-minute wash or something like that. Who do you have yours with?
It's called, what is it, Fantastic Sam's or something in Fuquay?
Yeah, and, as a matter of fact, 5-minute wash needs to advertise on our station because this is a good deal.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go knock on the door and say, hey, you need to buy some ads over here because I done said something about you. That'll be $15, please. We used to be, when I was on D103 FM, you know how much advertisement cost?
No.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Do you know how much advertisement cost when I was working on D103 FM back in 1980, 81?
Tell me.
$1 holla. That's how we used to say.
Was that the advertisement?
Hey, come on, we can get you on the air for $1 holla.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I'm from Philadelphia. Had to modify myself and get down here and talk like the country folks did. Hey, I can get you on the air for $1 holla. How many hollers you want?
Wow.
Give me $5 worth.
$5.
Give me 5 hollers on the radio. Greg Fisher, how are you, sir?
Oh, just peachy. Still 6 feet over. That's the important thing.
Well, that's good. And, I turned 71 August 16th, and I'm going to slow down and let you catch me, young man, because you're getting up there, too. I can tell by the gray hair I have on your picture.
Yes.
That's up there.
I have a big birthday coming up next February.
What are you going to be?
70.
Wow. Well, you'll be working into this, man, I tell you what. Well, let me just give you a little quick advice here before we talk about weather. People will stop calling you. People will stop coming around. All of a sudden, people just disappear. Kids, if and everybody just kicks you to the curb when you get into your 60s and your 70s. And all we have is each other. So when we going to play golf? And we got to do that. Well, look, if you don't just join us, Greg Fisher comes on once a month to kind of talk about different things that are happening. And so this is not your once a month. I want you to know that. This was an emergency call because we had earthquakes. No, I'm serious. And I've got you. I already wrote you down for the 31st at 8:20. You going to be around, or you going to be in Mexico or someplace?
Sure. Yeah, I should be, yeah.
I'll remind you, give you a call there, because that'll be the last day of the month. And we are into hurricane season, and we had an earthquake this weekend, and we were texting back and forth. That's not your area of expertise, but you do know that North Carolina has earthquakes.
Yes, and it's nobody's fault.
We're on the Tennessee seismic thing, is what I'm told, or is what I understand. And because of that, there's a potential for that to happen. As a matter of fact, when we were all on the air at WREL, Greg and I have worked together for years. As a matter of fact, for those of you who don't know, he is like the guru of weather at WREL for 30-something or 40? How many?
37.
37 years. And the neat thing I used to like about Greg, and Vic, you remember Greg on the air, don't you?
I do.
He's like a geek kind of guy. He got way too much information for me. Hey, is it going to rain or what? Greg, well, he started saying, well, this cosmic slope that's coming now around the sun and the zenith of the earth. Okay.
Very thorough.
Yes, he is terrible.
Yeah.
All right, but look. So
I'm giving up my morning to be abused like this.
But you know what? What we're trying to encourage kids to know is it's okay to be smart. And, when I don't know if you coming up, I was considered a geek. I know Vic was a geek.
Absolutely.
One thing that has really changed is that women were afraid to go into science and math because it just wasn't considered to be, a womanly thing. And thank God we've gotten rid of that. And so there's so many women that have gone into technical fields now and are contributing just as much, if not more, than men are. And that's been a big change just in the time I've been alive.
Well, and for those of you who don't know, Greg Fisher is a very smart guy. And as a matter of fact, any meteorologist is a very smart guy or gal, because you got to know calculus, trigonometry. I mean, weather is all about the numbers. And I didn't realize that until I was at WREL and, I was doing weekends. And look, Greg was my tutor. I mean, come on now. I'm at NC State taking meteorology and messing up the curve is what they said because I would, take my class and then I'd come over to WREL and Greg would tutor me. He said, oh, this is this. It's okay. And I remember going into class one time and everybody was mad. I'm saying, hey, what's going on? Right? You're messing up the curve. Well, 2D2 to you, So in any event, thank you, Greg, for that training. I never got my meteorology degree only because the Gulf War broke out and they sent me overseas to fight. And so I came back and they said, we want you to do news about the Army because you're a Ranger and you do all that stuff really well. And then so there was the end of my getting the degree in meteorology. All right, so look, you don't know much about the earthquakes and all that kind of stuff, but it does happen. And I remember one time while we were on the air, we felt it in Raleigh. I think there was a time when we felt it in Raleigh.
Yeah, I remember going through I think it was a drive up at one of the fast food places, and all of a sudden things started shaking. So those things do happen.
Well, and the thing about it is, if you live in California, I have a sister out in San Pedro, whatever you want to call it. She's out there, and they take earthquakes like we kind of take hurricanes out here.
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of happens, hold on, unless we get a number 7. These were number 2s in the western part, in Buncombe County and Hayward County this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No damage, nobody hurt, but San Francisco's still waiting for the big one, and no telling, we could have something. We felt it here in Fayetteville one time. Yeah.
And that Richter scale is interesting because I think for every number that you go up, it's actually 10 times the intensity.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like a 7 is 10 times as bad as a 6, and 8 is 100 times as bad as a 6.
Wow. All right, well, let's keep the 2s going and keep them over there in the western part of the county, and that'd be great. Greg, for those of you who don't know, was down in Myrtle Beach, and now you're back up in Fuquay.
Yes.
Back in Wake County. And so, look, we were talking about the hurricane stuff, and we're kind of behind, I think, in terms of named storms. Where are we? What's going on?
Yeah, if you look back through history, like the period, I think it's 1991 to 2020, we should have had, by August 22nd, 5 named storms, and we've only had 3. By the 26th of August, which is 2 days from now, we should have had 2 hurricanes. We've had none. And this was anticipated with this developing strong El Nino, is that it tends to greatly suppress hurricane activity in the Atlantic. And that's precisely what's happening.
Now, whose model was that? Because when we start talking about the spaghetti things, we look at a lot of different models. Explain that and who predicted this the best?
Oh, you mean in terms of the season being suppressed, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, everybody. I don't know of anybody that didn't predict that, to be honest with you. It's a very well-known correlation that every time there is an El Nino, especially a strong one, that the Atlantic hurricane season just dies. Now, the thing is, all it takes is one. You could have one hurricane the entire season, but if it's a Cat 4 and it hits a populated area, the impact can still be massive. So I never put a lot of stock in the total number of storms. I understand that the more you have, the better chance you have of getting hit. But by the same token, it does only take one. And so you could have 15 out in the middle of the ocean giving fish panic attacks, but if they don't hit land, who cares? Or you can have one that hits a populated area and the impact is massive.
Now, you said this is El Nino?
Right.
And the other one is El Nina?
La Nina.
La Nina. Okay, excuse my Spanish. Jeez.
That's all right.
Okay. And so what's the difference between the two?
The El Nino is when the water temperatures along the equator in the Pacific, Central and Eastern Pacific, go way above normal. And the La Nina is exactly the opposite, is when they go way below normal. And what happens is it redistributes the area in the tropical Pacific where thunderstorm activity is most concentrated. And depending on where that is, that then alters the flow patterns around the rest of the globe. So normally the warmest water in the Pacific is in the Western Pacific, and that's where the majority of the thunderstorm activity is. With an El Nino, it shifts into the middle of the Pacific, and that throws a monkey wrench into everything.
And so that's where we are now, and that's a good thing for us in terms of numbers. But as you mentioned, it only takes one. And then it's 100%. That's what I say. And when people say the possibility of thunderstorms is 50% like it is today, and you're standing under one right now, for that person, it's 100%, so that's how that basically works out. Well, look,
when Andrew hit Florida in 1992, that was a below normal season technically in terms of the number of storms. But as well as I do, the people in Homestead, Florida were just annihilated. And so don't tell them it was a below normal year, or they may not. You may not survive that conversation.
Well, Channel 5 normally sends me to different places like that, but they didn't send me down to Florida, to Homestead. They sent Tom Lawrence. You remember Tom, don't you? He was one of our producers. And Tom, I think this was his first rodeo going to one, and he just kind of took the clothes on his back. There was no Walmart, and everything was blown away. And so he had to live for a couple of days with just the clothes he had on his back. That's not how you go to cover one of these things.
No.
In any event. Well, look, Greg, stand by because we're going to hold you over. You got time, or you got to go eat a bologna sandwich or something? You good? Yeah, stand by.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Greg FISHEL is with us. We're going to talk with him a little bit more about the current weather pattern and also we want to give you a chance to talk about how people can see you because they can see you again with the service that you provide as well. Stand by for a second. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got local news right now with CBS 17.
Good morning. I'm Greg Funderburg from the CBS 17 newsroom. The Fayetteville community has a new place to cool off this morning. Families and city leaders cut the ribbon on a brand new splash pad. It's at North Street Park on Brinkley Street, and it's free for everyone. This is one of 15 public splash pads across the city. Councilman Malik Davis also says the new splash pad is a sign that this part of Fayetteville is getting some well-deserved attention. It has been 1 year since a 23-year-old Ukrainian woman was stabbed to death on a light rail train in Charlotte. Police charge another rider for the attack. The woman's family filed a lawsuit against the city of Charlotte. They blame the city and a private security company for failing to implement safety measures, including the absence of physical barriers and coordination with police. Governor Josh Stein is questioning WakeMed's proposed merger this morning with Atrium Health. He sent a letter to WakeMed's president and CEO ahead of today's planned commission meeting. The governor pointed out that WakeMed has a long history of providing high-quality, affordable health care in Wake County. The governor wants to know what other financing or strategic options were considered in addition to the proposed merger. The governor also wants to know what guarantees Atrium has provided to ensure WakeMed's prices will not increase. Cumberland County Schools will start their new school year today. It's the fifth largest school district in our state, with more than 48,000 students going to 86 schools. Behind the military, the school district is the second largest employer in the county, with more than 6,600 full-time employees. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Greg Funderburg.
Today will be partly cloudy with a stray shower and a high of 91. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 67, and Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 89. After we enjoy a pleasant start to the week, temperatures will start to warm up slightly, and our chances for rain will increase, especially by the end of the week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. It's 73 across the board. Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and Fort Bragg. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
This report is sponsored by United States Department of Veterans Affairs.
The hardest part was figuring out where to go. Safeguard Veterans connected me to people and resources that understood military life.
Veteran-focused support, local connections. Visit safeguardveterans.net and click on your city. Safeguard Veterans. Any door, the right support.
What keeps you up at night? Do you wonder if what you've saved will be enough? If your money will go as far as you plan? Or whether your retirement will look the way you imagine? What worries you? Everyone's concern is different, but ignoring it won't make it disappear. This is Ron Paul. You may not be able to predict what comes next, but you can take steps now to diversify your savings with precious metals before uncertainty becomes urgency. My friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit explaining how gold can help diversify your IRA or 401k. Just text the word SHELTER to the number 989898. There's no cost and no obligation. Just free information to help you consider your option. Take the first step with Birch Gold. Text the word SHELTER to the number 989898. today.
Message and data rates may apply.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code SAVE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code SAVE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code SAVE to borrow up to $10,000.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Bays on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2 WFNC.
News Talk 640 WFNC. Greg, is Greg still there? Or do I have to push the button again? Greg, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't have to push the button. If I would have pushed that button, I would have hung up on it.
Hung up, yep.
Dang. All right. I'm glad I didn't do that. All right. Greg Fishel's here. He's our weather guru. Now, we got the CBS 17. They do a fine job. But you're not going to find anybody that does a very specific type thing like you do. Because, you're the man, the legend, the myth.
Well, you know what's interesting is that people ask me, because I have a podcast on Patreon, and they say, well, what do you do? And I said, same thing I did on TV, except I don't have to shut up after 3 minutes.
Nice.
But don't worry, at some point I'm going to give you the boot this morning as well. I give everybody the boot off this show. but it's neat. Now, you mentioned Patreon. Now, talk about that, because people can see you, and it costs a little bit, but you give a service that people are used to.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's called patreon.com/fishletter. That's the URL to get to it. And it's only $3 a month. I haven't raised the price, I think, in 4 years. But I do 6 to 8 minute videos Monday through Friday. Always do the forecast first, so if you don't have time to sit through the whole 6 or 8 minutes, you don't have to. And just try to, give some extra information and some perspective and confidence levels and all that stuff that I rarely had time to do in a 3-minute weathercast. And I know that the consultants told me one time that, never talk about what you're not sure of. And I got more positive feedback over the years when I was honest with people about the fact that I really wasn't confident in the forecast that I was giving them, that there was a lot of uncertainty there. I don't want to lie about being confident if I'm not.
Yeah, and how many times have you stood inside the fountain at WRL because of some mess?
Just once, but it was memorable.
Yeah, and explain what that is, because it's like kind of an inside joke for us. But what was the challenge?
Yeah, I had a bet, and I rarely do this. I don't really believe in long-range forecasting, but I really thought that within a 2-week period there would be measurable snow at the Raleigh-Durham Airport. And there was in Roxborough, but it never made it to Raleigh. And so I said that I would jump in the fountain out in front of the WRL studios. And it was 37 degrees, and the water was in the 30s. And Dr. Mast was giving reports about hypothermia, and I said, this is not good.
Hey, Vic, did you hear that story? Did you know he did that?
No.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well,
Wow.
but that's how the fish is. I mean, he's a man of his word, so.
Well, and did I ever tell you that I got a note from a dad after that? And as God is my judge, when I did this, I didn't think that I was, educating anybody on morals and ethics. But he said he used that as a way to teach his son about being accountable for what you say you're going to do. And that meant the world to me. I never really thought about, somebody using something as lighthearted as that to actually teach their kids a lesson about life.
Well, that's normally where the best lessons come in, and you did what you said you were going to do, and that's hopefully everybody does that. But that we know that's not true. All right, look, Greg, let's get back here to it. We had some thunderstorms that coming through here this morning. And, it was lighting up the sky pretty good. Were you talking about this in your Patreon cast?
Well, I haven't done anything since Friday, but it looked to me back on Friday like things were going to be pretty quiet once we headed into Sunday and Monday. So I'm not going to lie to you. That was a bit of a surprise.
Well, the thing about it is I hate it for the kids because this is first day of school for Cumberland County. I think Wake County might have gone back as well. And I'm just driving. I saw 2 school buses. And I'm just thinking, how many parents are going to actually drive their kids to school today? Because you don't even want the kiddos out there in the rain and lightning and thunder and everything. And you know how we are, Greg. Once you said it was going to snow with 2 snowflakes, they shut down Wake County schools and Cumberland County schools in a minute. You only need 2 snowflakes.
Right. And you know what? I don't know if we talked about this. Have we talked about the whole daylight saving time proposal to go year round with that?
Well, no, and it's still just a proposal. They haven't done that. What happens if that happens?
Well, I looked this up the other day that we would have 84 days in succession in the wintertime where the sun would come up after 8 o'clock in the morning, which I think is just ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, I'm going to be. I usually don't express an opinion about things like this, but I just think it's a stupid idea.
Well, you're not subject. You can editorialize. I mean, so yeah. I mean, look, this is talk radio. Here come the producers now. I know Sharon's got something to say about this too. You know Greg FISHEL, don't you? Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Absolutely, Greg. I don't know if you remember me,
this is
but
Sharon Moyer. Come on.
Yeah, I used to have a different last name. Yeah, and Greg, when he was with WREL and I was with the Dogwood Festival 20-some-odd years ago, he did his weather report from the Market House. Do you remember that, Greg?
Yeah, I sure do.
Mm-hmm.
I have great memories of those live remotes. Those were fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Sharon is going to be actually in the next hour. Who's coming with you today?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Rachel
Okay.
Hyman Mercator.
And what does she cover?
She is our local government reporter, so she covers city council.
Well, we got a lot to talk about there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyway, the way I do this, Greg, is when somebody comes in, I don't let them sit out in the lobby like an orphan. They come in. I mean, she's not supposed to be here, right? But she comes in early, and
better than late.
Yeah, and you see,
just saying.
Bad Sharon.
See what I got to
Hi, Vic.
Hey, how you
see
doing?
what I got to deal with here?
I'm a little fascinated with the level of the Cape Fear River here at Person Street Bridge, and I do this stupid little thing on social media called Sharon's River Watch.
Yeah, but it's not that high.
No, it's low. That's my point. Is that it's low.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, you remember a time when that thing nearly came up over the embankment, over the bridge on Person Street, and from Hurricane Matthew and Florence.
Right?
Yeah, it was Matthew and Florence.
Oh, okay. Those, yep.
That we had those
and then
issues.
before that, you had Fran and Floyd back in the 90s.
Right. Well, the thing about Matthew and Florence, we hadn't recovered from Matthew, and then Florence came like a year or two later, and we still had people, that were living in motels and all kind and RVs. It was just a terrible thing. But it goes back to your point that this is a slow hurricane season, but we only need one to reap havoc.
Right.
And we
exactly.
Now, Sharon's bringing up the fact that she's doing the River Watch, and it's low right now.
It is. It's 9.9. Actually, it's 10.02 feet, and normal's between 10 and 12. So the lowest I've personally seen it is 8.5. So I'm a little concerned.
Well, and that speaks to our kind of water crisis. We'll get a day like we have right now where we've got a lot of rain, and everybody thinks, yes, the drought is over.
No.
Greg, that's not the case, is it?
No, and on Friday, it really looked like we had an excellent chance of having widespread rainfall amounts in excess of an inch, and only about half the area got that. Across much of Wake County and points north and east, it ended up being very little. And a lot of people were upset about that. And it's one of those things where I told them, I said, the best science that we had available to us told us that that was the case. And sometimes the best science still isn't good enough.
Well, you hate it for folks and everybody. Again, Sharon's not the only one watching ponds. When you go around and you see some of those places in some of the communities, and you can see the embankment now really coming up. That's kind of scary for us because those are our water sources.
Right. And our water, what we get here, it flows downstream to Wilmington, and what happens north of us flows downstream to us. So if they're not getting rain, is that correct, Greg? If they're not getting rain north of us, then we're not raising?
Absolutely. In fact, I remember one time, and I think this was around Goldsboro, that they were accusing, and I don't think this was correct, but they were accusing the Corps of Engineers for releasing water out of either Jordan Lake or Carr Lake to save Raleigh from flooding, but then all that water was going down farther south. So there definitely is an effect there, and you have to try to balance it between protecting the area where the source of the water is with the areas downstream.
Well, the big fight right now is with our town up there in Fuquay, where both of us live. They want to take water out of the Cape Fear Basin and put it into the Neuse Basin without returning it.
Yes.
And we were fighting that tooth and nail down here. And sometimes I got to stay mute because I got a house up in Fuquay. So, Greg, do you want us to give the water back, or you want to keep it up there at your house? But here's the thing. PwC has made this argument as well, that we don't mind folks taking the water out of the Cape Fear River, and we're talking about, 8 million gallons a day or something like that. Just put it back into the Cape Fear Basin as opposed to putting it into the Neuse Basin. And that's the issue that surrounds us.
Yes.
And I haven't heard much, and I've talked with Kirk Deviere and also the mayor about this, and it was supposed to be decided in April. And
no, that was the deadline
for
public comments.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know when it's supposed to be decided.
All right. Well, this is not the first time that we've had this challenge, and we were able to talk our way into keeping the water in our basin. We'll see how that turns out. All right, Greg.
Now,
is
it fair to say that this is a very noose-worthy event?
Well, I didn't have Sharon's response up on the camera. Sharon, that's not nice. You're supposed to laugh.
That was a dad joke.
No, Greg doesn't have bad jokes.
No, Dad.
Oh,
it was a dad joke.
All right. Well, Greg, look, it's almost time for me to give you the boot here, but we don't want to do that. Look, we're going to have you back. The end of the month is coming up here. Next Monday is going to be August 31st. This is gone. And
how did this happen?
Time. Both of us are getting older. You're going to be 70 next year. Sharon's just a sprinkling.
You know my theory on why
I'm getting ready to have a birthday as well.
It goes faster as you get older.
Yeah, it does go faster, but that's okay. All right, one last one. Go ahead, Greg.
Just like when you're 5 years old, 1 year is 20% of your life, and when you're 50, it's 2%.
Oh, that's right. Look, I got one peel, 1 foot in the grave, another one on a banana peel. So I've got to watch myself. And I've always said the Bible says 70. That's 70 years. So I'm on borrowed time. I'm 71. Greg, you're going to join me next year.
Yep.
Next year?
Yep.
And Sharon, how far are you out?
Only made it to 67, and my dad made it to 97. So I tell people I'll settle for the arithmetic mean.
Okay.
You know what that means? 82.
82. Well, look, I've done all of my finances based on the fact that I'm going to be 85.
There you go. I have a birthday coming. I'll be 59.
59?
I know.
Gosh,
my mom lived to almost 91, so there we go. I got some good genes there.
Well, look, the sad part about that is I have a daughter almost her age. Jeez. I got 2 almost her age.
That's okay. I have a brother older than both of you. So.
Well, that's good. Well, let's just bring everybody together and sing Kumbaya.
There you go.
Or something. All right, look, hey, Greg, it's always a pleasure to have you on, and I appreciate your insight into the hurricane season or the lack thereof. And let's keep it that way.
Yes.
But we're going to talk to you on the 31st. We'll just, because there's a lot of folks who are hearing you now, and there'll be some folks who didn't hear you, and we could talk about that again, and we'll see if there's any development. There is a wave coming off Africa right now. Anything to it?
Yeah, well, just that there's like a 50% chance it'll develop. But a couple of weeks ago, there was an 80% chance of a wave, and it totally died. So, we shall see. It's a long way out there, and it's got to navigate some hostile conditions to get to the U.S. So we'll see.
All right, Greg Fishel, the official meteorologist. As far as we're concerned, we appreciate you and appreciate the time and appreciate the friendship. And again, I'm still looking to get you out on a course somewhere. We keep saying we're going to do that, but we will make that happen.
And I just want to try to keep the score so I don't have to use exponents.
All right. Thanks so much, Craig. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast right now with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Today will be partly cloudy with a stray shower and a high of 91. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 67, and Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 89. After we enjoy a pleasant start to the week, temperatures will start to warm up slightly, and our chances for rain will increase, especially by the end of the week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Because of the showers we've had in the area, the temperature has dropped from 72 down to 70. 70 degrees in Fayetteville, at Fort Bragg, and also in Pembroke. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're